question I get all the time. Who should obtain security through obscurity? Anybody who has substantial assets, and it means it could just be one rental property plus you have your job. It could be 2 rental properties. It could be 10 rental properties. It could be your business plus a rental property. It could just be you with a good W-2 who has a side business. What we want to do is eliminate the target off your back through the concept of security through obscurity by making it very difficult for anybody to tell that you're associated with an asset or a business, so they do not target you because of your relationship with that entity or that asset. Here's how it works. We remove your name from the public record. People oftentimes don't understand what this means, but let's say you have a rental property in a state. We do not want your name on that rental property. And I know there's a bunch of folks out there who say, I'll always be able to tell. What you do not want is for an attorney in your jurisdiction or even in that jurisdiction to pull your name up and see, A, yet you're tied to that property, but B, pull up that property. Hey, there might be a valid claim on that property, and see everything else you own. We do not want your name in a public record. And here's the thing. Bank records, for example, they're not a public record. Your IRS transcripts, not a public record. All the things that you might be filing with the Corporate Transparency Act, not a public record. What is a public record is your ownership in particular types of entities or your name on a deed, and we can eliminate those by using security through obscurity. By removing your name off of those assets, we no longer see cases brought against you just because they think you're rich. No longer do they see you as a deep pocket because they cannot tie you to those assets. Why is security through obscurity important? Because nowadays, lawyers, just like everybody else, are always looking for the deep pocket. And the first thing they look at, besides, hey, do I actually have a case? Do I think I have a recovery? It's what are my chances of recovering? And is there a value in harassing or filing a suit and getting a settlement value out of that suit? And unfortunately, in this day and age, you see billboards everywhere for attorneys, right? It's the hammer, and they're gonna come get somebody, and you know, truckers hate my law firm because I sue the hell out of them. Yeah, you want to avoid those people by making sure your name is not tied to assets in a public record so that you attract them. It's almost like leaving crumbs out for pigeons. You don't want to do that because in this case, the pigeons are the attorneys and they're going to come find you. What we want to do is make sure that there is nothing out there in a public record. There are no crumbs of you out there tied to certain assets so that they don't fly down and try to take your stuff. So you get into a car accident and you wonder what goes through the mind of the attorney who is deciding whether or not to pursue you for the mother of all lawsuits, right? This is what they're typically looking at. They're looking at the value of the claim, the likelihood that they're going to be successful, and then they're going to multiply that whole thing by the chance of recovery. Generally speaking, you want them to just look at your insurance. If you have a bunch of other assets out there in your name, there's a good chance they're going to roll the dice and try to bring those other assets. Hey, you have a whole bunch of rental properties we can see, and they're going to try to bring that into your suit so that you settle for a much larger amount. If you're a real estate investor, does it make sense to try to keep your name out of the public record? We hear all sorts of misinformation out there. There's people like, oh, if you've ever been on a property, we can always see it. To a certain extent, yes, but what we're looking for is making sure that when somebody does an asset search on you today, hey, I think I have a claim against you today, that they don't see that you have 20 pieces of property or 10 pieces of property or 1 piece of property, because that can create a claim against you because they see you as a deep pocket. Been there, done that, have that t-shirt. The way around it, and we have tens of thousands of clients, and what we see is A, they don't get sued, and B, when there are the occasional suits, because there's just clear liability, they're able to settle quickly and without getting shaken down. The solution is security through obscurity, which is don't let them see everything you have, because then it's the value of the claim multiplied by their chance of success. So like you're only going to see claims brought against you where there's really something you did, and then when they multiply it by their chances of recovery, it goes down because they do not see other assets. And what they do is they limit themselves then to your insurance, and that's what we want.